What's up?
What's up?
Welcome back. We've got another podcast for you. We just did the Triple One show on the weekend.
That was mental, bro.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Big ups to Triple One. Big ups to everybody that came out.
Billy, Dom, Marnie, Obi, big shout out for coming through the studio.
Sick hunts, absolutely fresh. We made a lot of really fresh music this week.
Yeah, facts.
And also, we had DJ Hans. He held it the fuck down.
Oh, he was mental, bro.
He's a fresh lord.
Oof.
Absolute fresh lord. But we got something for you. We did a podcast with Hans.
Yeah, but actually before the show. Okay.
Before the show.
So if anyone wants to know a bit more about Hans, check out this exclusive because it's fresh. You're going to see Hans more at the PS shows, okay?
100%. Now, we actually filmed this. We forgot to put the camera on because it was just going so smooth and shit. So it's audio only, but do not worry. There's a lot of good information. We talk about raves, we talk about revs, we talk about doofs, we talk about fucking Star Wars. What else do we talk about?
Pretty much all that.
Heaps of shit.
Heaps of shit. Melbourne culture. Okay, so go check it out now.
So you get to the doof.
So we drove 2.5 hours or 2 hours to the doof, right? I'm in my full streetwear, clean shoes, everything. We're in this little tiny laser, no air conditioning. Yeah. I'm complaining 2.5 hours all the way. What the hell are we doing? What have I got myself into? Like, it's hot. My shit's gonna get dirty. We're driving to the middle of nowhere. I haven't seen a fucking single person in 2 hours. Like, this freeway straight. Like, where the hell are we going? Yeah. We drive into this paddock, right? Windows wind down. All of a sudden, I can hear this. I'm like, okay, here we go. Oh, it's weird music. I start seeing hippies. I'm like, oh my God, like, look at these caravans. Like, oh my God, look, tree hugger, dreadlock motherfucker. Like, oh my God, like, what the hell is this? Like, oh, it smells weird. What's this incense? Like, what the hell's going? It smells. There's insects everywhere. It's hot. Like, I'm complaining. Like, whole way I'm complaining. Okay,
where was it?
I can't remember. It's Earthcore in the paddock somewhere. This was like in the 90s, right? Late 90s. So we get to the campsite and she goes, okay, next step, we're going to unpack everything and we're going to set up camp. I'm like, set up camp for fuck's sake, right? Like, we're in the dirt, my shoes are gonna get dirty, like, there's no shade. What, we're gonna put up the tent in fucking 12 o'clock in the afternoon, it's 40 degrees, are you kidding me? Who are we camping next to? Who are these hippies? Like, they look crazy, they look like they're on drugs already, the party haven't even started, like, so complain the whole way, setting up tent, sweating, everything's getting dirty, complain all afternoon, so hit the bottle, right? Start drinking. By nighttime, it's like I'm drunk, I'm aggressive, angry. Takes me to the dance floor. I'm getting even more angry, more complaining.
Did you like the music?
The music, not really at the time, you know. Like, I didn't understand it, obviously.
So that's like side trance.
It's like psytrance, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm a bit drunk, can put up with it. The whole night, just bagging shit on people. Like, look at you, you look like you haven't showered for days. Like, look at you look like you live on Fitzroy Street. Like, what's going on? Like, it's crazy, right? Pass out, eventually, Saturday morning, you get woken up, the hot sun in your tent, and you're sweating. Yeah. You've got this massive hungover because you've smashed so much alcohol the night before, trying to drown yourself. You wake up, and there's 10 times more people around you. You come out of the tent, oh my God, it's hot, I'm sweating, I'm dirty, look at my shoes, got this massive hangover, I feel terrible, like, what's going on? No. Complain. The wife ignores me, and then just after lunch, someone goes, poop, something in the mouth. Yeah. Right?
And it all changes.
That's how it starts.
Then it all changes. So you're lost for a few hours, the sun goes down Saturday night, the lasers come on. Yeah. And then you go, all of a sudden it's rave, right? Don't remember anything. Sunday morning, you wake up, you're hazy, you're still going from the night before. You get into the dance floor, it's packed, it's going off. The hippie you've been bagging for the last 2 days, you're arm in arm with him. Right? You're hugging him, you're like, I love you, you're my best friend. How come I never knew about this? Where have I been the last 10 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Monday morning, you wake up, you're looking for this hippie that you've been giving shit to for the last 3 days. Yeah. You're making friends with him on Facebook, whatever it is. Like, well, back then, not social media, right? So you get his email, his text message. You come back for the next 5 years, I preach to everyone, you gotta go. You gotta go. This thing I hated, this thing I was so negative about, this thing I was totally against, I was the biggest preacher.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been to a doof at least one, if not 2 or 3 every year for the last 20 years.
Because
Yeah.
it strips away that ego. Once on the
It
second
does.
day, the third day,
It does.
it strips away that ego, and
It
everyone's
does.
like, oh,
It does,
fuck.
and it's like it's coming from not being open to things.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
what I mean?
Definitely.
Like, yeah, sure, it might not be for you, and
Yeah.
it's definitely not for everyone, especially the substance taking and all that sort of stuff. And same with like regular substance taking. I believe. I think like to understand electronic music, especially house rave music, you'd have to try it at least once.
Yeah.
And once you've tried it, whether you continue with it or you like it or not, once you've done that first time, every time after that you listen to house music, you understand why
Yeah,
it sounds
understand
like
exactly the thing.
this. I get
Yeah.
why it's like
Yeah.
this now.
Yep.
But something about doofs and like having music outside, not confined to like a warehouse or something where the music's outside and you're in the environment, like being next to the river, being open, being like no one looking at you, no cameras.
Well, that's
all
why
that kind of vibe.
That's why
That was
psytrance
cool.
sounds the way it is, because it travels through
Yeah.
nature, right? You never really have a good psytrance party indoors in a club, Outside,
Doesn't resonate the right way.
it sounds amazing. Like it took me a little while to get used to the sound.
Yeah.
But now every time I go to a doof, regardless of whether it's a techno one or whatever, I find the psytrance.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm in front of there as long as I can, and I'm the one in front of the speaker doing
Yeah.
the weird shit, right? Because it sounds the best there. Like and the structure of it is so different from everything else I normally play on the weekends, right? The techno, the house, the hip
The
hop.
drops come in at a weird
The
time.
way
and,
it's
like,
made,
the-
the just construction of it, like and I'm amazed, and not so much like I'm in love with the music. I'm just like, oh my god, like this sound. Oh my
Yeah.
god, like he drops here.
Yeah.
Or instead of going, poof, it goes,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just it's amazing to me. Like I will never be able to sit in the studio and go, okay, this sound,
Yeah.
or that sound. I'll never think of that way. Different path of thinking.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's amazing to me. Like it's awesome. Like, I don't own any of it. I don't play it out. I don't promote it or anything like that. But I love listening to it because it's so different.
It really is. It's
It's
like when
so,
the
so
first time I
different.
heard psytrance, I was actually like refreshed almost. At the first, I was like, "What the fuck's going on? Like, what is this tempo?
Because
What's
it's so fast.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like it felt like a fucking like a panic attack or something. It was like an audio panic attack.
But once you
pretty
get
much.
used to the
And
sound,
then
it's
like,
very
oh.
tribal. It's very like a heartbeat,
Yeah.
like and it's so natural. Like you can block everything else and just listen to the and it's just like it's very calming. If it's too much for you, especially when you're out in the bush,
Yeah.
just walk away.
Yeah.
You can still feel the vibration, whatever. You don't have to be in your face, and I find it very, very calming.
Well, like growing up, I was in the country growing up, right? And like every year around Easter, the town would get flooded with hippies, right? And everybody in the town's like, what the fuck's going on? This cunt's hitchhiking and shit, all this weird shit. And like, fucking hippies are in town. Anyway, so Confest is near my house.
Oh no, I've never been
Okay,
to
brother.
Confest. No.
Anyway, one day I'm in the main street. I went back to Swan Hill to see my family. I'm in the main street and I see one of my mates. And I'm like, what the fuck you doing here? He's like, I'm going Confest. He's like, I'm waiting for the bus. I go, bro, there ain't no bus going out there, man. Like, it's the middle of nowhere. I go, I'll drive you there. And he's like, yeah, come. We get closer to it. We get there. I'm like, I'm dropping you off, bro. I'm not coming into this shit. Known about this for fucking 15 years or whatever. Anyway, we get there. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck's going on here? Drove him in there. Had a look. I'm like, there's no music. Because Confest,
Yeah,
there's
no
no
music.
electricity,
Yeah, no,
nothing like
nothing.
that.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking obscure. Anyway, I ended up staying there the whole weekend. Come home telling everybody, this is the fucking maddest shit ever. I had the best time.
It's a vibe. It's
Full
the vibe.
conversion.
It is a vibe. Yeah, if you can get past, again, it's the ego thing, right? Like if you can get past how different they all look.
I'm Air Maxed out and shit like that. I'm like, this
Same,
ain't my
like,
spot,
yeah.
Like the first night I was like, fuck. Like I
Yeah.
ate heaps of acid, but I was like, first night I'm like, this is bullshit. Motherfuckers only saying hi to me because they're here, but if they were anywhere else, they wouldn't say hi to me. But then something happened.
Something happened.
Then
Something
happened.
Something
And I'm like,
happened.
this is the fucking
Yeah,
place.
man, because there's
Start
not-
dancing in
like,
the mud.
We come from the streets. I'm not saying like the streets are ghetto. I'm talking we're city kids.
Yeah.
Right? And we're used to this kind of stuff. And the culture that we're in, it's all about flexing. It's all about this. It's about me,
freshness,
whatever.
style.
Like,
Materialism.
check it out. And we're so used to it that when we see something different, it's like, that's whack.
Yeah.
Like automatic.
Yeah.
Without even thinking, oh, that's whack.
Yeah.
You know, oh, that's shit.
And there's a reason why somebody likes something as well. Like, as you were saying, like, the moment that you're in a rave, you can appreciate
Exactly.
techno. It's what I always say to people, and they're like, oh, how can you listen to techno? I'm like, you've never been to a rave.
Exactly.
It's the moment, it's the vibe.
It's
you
the
know?
moment, yeah, it's the moment.
You
And
don't-
once you have that moment, that's the only moment
Yeah.
you have to have.
Understanding.
And that's the
enlightenment.
ego, and the
Exactly.
ego is the only thing stopping you from stepping over there and enjoying it.
Correct.
Okay,
That's
so
enlightenment.
yeah.
Here's another story. So one year we were at Rainbow, and we normally have our regular campsite, whatever. It's quite big. We have like 40 people in our campsite. We do it up properly. We've got like sprinklers, the whole work. Like,
Yeah.
And then we were there. We came probably like 6 hours later because of traffic, whatever. And next to us was already camped like a bunch of bogans, right? And this is like inverted commas, bogans. They had the 3 big 4-wheel drive, country 4-wheel drives. They had 2 massive, like those fold-out marquee, like
Yeah.
the shade structures up.
Yeah.
And they had one esky which was the size of a body.
It was a casket.
Those big.
Big chests.
They had nothing else. They had the big esky. They had like probably 12 fold-out chairs around it,
Yep.
and that was it. And we were like, uh-oh, what's going on? They had their doors open, blasting like Triple J Hottest 100,
Yep.
right at Rainbow Serpent, and we're like, oh
Here we
no,
go.
here we go. Like we're gonna have the worst
Look what we
weekend.
passed.
What
ever,
year
you
was
know?
this?
5-6 years ago now.
Because there definitely was a change of culture within doofs.
Let me get to it.
Okay.
Anyway, so there were a couple of people there. We start talking, hey, you know, as you do, you get there, you make friends with your neighbors because you're going to be there 5
Yeah,
days.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah, nah, we're farmers, you know, this and that. We're from the country. We're here for mates' bucks.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
oh, you know. First thing that comes to mind, all the negative shit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Bucks, country bumpkins, like what else could go worse,
Yeah.
right? They got their doors opening, playing Triple J music at a doof.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like there goes our weekend. It's going to be the
Yeah.
worst ever. One by one, their friends started rocking up, this and that. We met the guy who's going to get married, whatever. We're farmers. We're like, oh yeah, farmers. So I thought, all right, let's do the right thing, be the bigger man. I'll go and have a chat to him. So I went up, oh hey, my name's Hans, this and that. You know, we come here for like 10 years over, and just trying to make friends, you know, this and that. Oh yeah, come sit down, whatever. And they go, yeah, we're farmers. I'm like, oh yeah, farmers. So like, what farm? Oh yeah, we work for Sunrise. Like like a rice farm. I go, yeah. So what, you tractor drivers? And he goes, no, I fly the helicopter, and he flies the crop duster.
Yeah.
So they're fucking pilots,
Yeah.
right? So end up, I'm like, all right, fuck, put me in my place. Start talking day 1, day 2, and they got a bit wild, whatever. But the whole time they were respectful, right? So they had 2 shifts on the farm, and then because they knew everyone on the farm, everyone came, but they couldn't leave the farm alone. So they had 2 shifts of the entire weekend. Half of them came for the first half, and then the other half went back
Switched
to
over.
work, and then they came exchanged.
Yeah.
But the buck obviously
Stayed, yeah.
stayed there, right, and had the whole 5 days. Mate, we couldn't be more wrong about them. They were the nicest people ever, the most fun people to hang out and party with. And right at the end, we thought we had, you know, as normal, like a lot of city kids just leave and leave their rubbish. We have to clean up for them. It was the cleanest campsite we've seen left ever, because obviously they're farmers, they live on the land.
Yeah.
They didn't leave one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were so
Sustainable.
good. And before they left, they came, they said goodbye to everyone, said thanked us for a great weekend, being great neighbors and stuff like that. So again, you know, it's the ego thing, right? Like I had my walls up, and we all had our walls up. First thing, when we first saw them, we assumed
Yeah.
they were the worst, right? Because whatever it was. And we couldn't be more wrong. So never again, man. Like, never again.
Just
100%.
breaking down walls.
Yeah, mate.
That's what it is.
So did doof culture change? Was there?
No, nothing's
changed. Were there some people that came? Was there a wave of younger kind of people? I can remember there being a kind of change where a lot of people were leaving rubbish. Some kind of other drugs.
Okay, so
came
this
into
is the way
scene.
I say there's no you can't escape that, right?
Yeah.
The bigger the party gets, the more chance you're gonna. It's always happened. If you actually look at photos from back in the day, if you can find those photos, it's always been rubbish.
Yeah.
Always been rubbish. But because raves or doofs back then, 200, 500 people,
Yeah.
manageable, right? Not so much rubbish.
Yeah.
Now the rave's got 15,000 people.
Crazy.
You know, can you imagine how much rubbish there is? So, like, for me, it's like when people say, oh, what's happened to Revolver? You know, the crowd's getting younger, the music shit, fucking this and that. It's like, bro, you haven't
You're
come
just getting
for 10,
older.
You haven't come for 10 years. Nothing's changed. The music has to evolve, whether you like it or not. It changes every few years,
Yeah.
right? It needs to go somewhere. the crowd's always been young, and they always have to have a young crowd because when old people like you don't come anymore, there won't be anybody here,
Yeah.
right? So no, the crowd hasn't gotten younger. You've gotten older.
Yeah.
You've gotten older, and at some stage, you've stopped progressing. You've stopped opening your mind. You've closed up because you found a moment that you like, and you've stopped right there.
And that's the glory days.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's the same for doofs.
Wow,
exactly the
that's
same.
big facts.
Yeah.
So the like I said, the reason and the ethos of why people go clubbing and doofing is still exactly the same. Things are going to change. Obviously, venues are going to change. Laws are going to change. You know, things are different now. There was no drug test back in the day. You know, we got away with a lot more. People go, oh, but these days there's all kids with phones and stuff. If we had camera phones in the 90s, we'd be using them.
Yeah, 100%.
The only reason none of them use it because it wasn't there. It wasn't there, right? And the cameras were too big and bulky to bring around to look after. You got to develop your film. You can't check whether the photos were okay. Who knows? Maybe a lot of photos were taken, but because it was so dark, everything's underdeveloped. You know, that's why there's no photos. You know, you can't compare like, oh, but back in the day it's better, or vinyl is better than CD. Or, things are different, you know? You just have to move on.
The world evolves.
Exactly. If you love it, you love it, regardless. You know, you
Facts.
find a way.
Definitely.
Like same with music, like hip hop, right? Come from the 90s all the way to now. Music, hip hop is different.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so different. But you can't say the golden era is better than trap music,
No.
right? It's just different, right? Like, if it stayed 90s era, there wouldn't be many hip hop fans.
No. No.
You know, and the kids don't get it. Oh, but this shit, the music's shit now. No, not really. It sounds different.
808's dump.
And you might not understand it because of the mumble, but mumble is a trend, is a genre. You know what I mean? Oh, but the beats are too simple and this. Well, the beats were all stolen from back in the day. It was just looped old songs. You know what I mean? Like, at least these days they're creating their own new beats
Yeah.
and new rhythms and new melodies. You know what I mean? It's just, and it sounds so much better today because of the production value.
Yeah.
Everything's clear, everything's consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back then, like,
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
That was obscure.
I mean, listen, like, so many big diehard Wu-Tang fans. But for fuck's sake, it sounds like shit.
Can't listen to it forever.
Sounds like shit. you
Yeah,
know?
bro.
Like,
It's like you listen to the production quality of all that sort
It's
of stuff.
horrid.
And it's like, it is. But
And-
I think that's what gave it its thing. That's actually what gave it its life, though. Because if you had fucking RZA's beats, real well mastered, it wouldn't be the same.
but you never know. Like,
It wouldn't
I
be the
don't know.
same.
I don't know. You never know. We don't know. We will never
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
We will
We'll
never
never
know.
know.
You know. So.
Back to Revolver. I just,
He loves it.
I just wanted to ask a question, talking about changes and stuff like that. Did you see any dance kind of change in dance? Are people still dancing?
People stop dancing.
Okay.
There's
People
no
started
more.
on their phones.
There's no more. I wouldn't say that it's a phone thing.
Yeah.
I just think it's. I don't know. People. There's first of all space.
Yep.
You know, back in the day, we had lots of space, warehouses, clubs. People start shuffling left and right. And then the Melbourne shuffle changed into this like hard candy, fucking Running Man stomp
Yeah,
thing.
the stomping.
So I don't know how old you guys are, but
Yeah.
Melbourne
I remember
shuffle
that.
used to be a different thing from the Melbourne shuffle we know now, right? And then all of a sudden, like, there's no more dancing. It's more like getting there and flailing. So I think there's a lot to do with the drugs, and the drugs do influence the music, or vice versa. It's slowed down, and it's gone into that K-hole sort of like. There's more like waving around,
More waving.
Some
yeah,
wave,
waving.
more ethereal kind
Yeah.
of feeling than up, you know?
Yep.
Because back in the day, you go to rave, up,
Yeah.
up, woo,
High energy.
yeah, like that, you know? But now you rock into a big party, even though there's thousands of people there, everyone's like,
It's like,
Just feeling it.
just the feeling, you know? So I don't know. I'd love to see a lot more dancing because I come from that,
Yeah.
you know? And it also creates a better vibe if people are dancing. And you still get, people go off now and then, but I don't think that's been that culture of bringing it forward.
yeah.
You know, there was a time, and I'm sure same with hip hop, there was a time of 5 to 10 years where the new generation came up and the old generation went, this is different, I don't like it, fuck you
Left.
kids. Instead of
Didn't
going,
pass it down.
yeah, so there was no handover. You know what I mean? And so what did the kids do? Fuck these old jaded cunts.
Yeah.
Like, let's go and do our own thing.
Yeah.
You know? And they did, and they got on social media, and they got bigger than the old guys,
Yep.
and now there's this like,
Rift.
you know, the kids don't care, man.
Yeah.
We want to learn, but if you're not going to teach us and you want to hate on us, we're going to do our own thing.
100%.
And now that we're successful, we don't actually need you anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
who cares? Who cares about Dre when we've got Drake,
Yeah.
right?
Straight up.
That's
What's
a
the
big
difference? Yeah, exactly. So big ups to them, man. Like, big ups to the kids, and it's partly I blame our generation a little bit.
What background of dance did you come from?
Like Melbourne Shuffle.
Oh, yeah.
The original Melbourne Shuffle.
Yeah, you remember?
Pre-YouTube video.
Yeah, pre-YouTube video.
So was there a big culture in Melbourne Shuffle? And
Yeah, it's
like
huge.
kind of cruise, maybe?
Oh
Were
no,
there
but you went to a
groups?
rave, you could see all the crews.
Yeah.
Like they're normally in the back corners.
Yeah.
Like just busted.
I can
around.
remember when people used to powder the floors.
Yeah,
and
because
then
it was
put the
sticky.
duct tape on the
yeah.
shoes.
I don't know
Duct tape on
about the duct tape
the
on the shoe, but like we all used to have talcum powder in our bags.
Little
Carney,
technique.
what's your story about the dude in the country that did...
Oh my god! So shuffling was popping. Okay, it's PhD.
Ah,
kinda
okay. So this
era.
was the next.
This is the next phase.
The next phase.
Yeah, so this is when shuffling turned into like the stomping. Okay, motherfuckers are stomping. And cunts want to flex how hard they are by the hectic stomps and the slides and all that sort of shit.
because it was more liquid when I started.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah.
more like the side by
and
side.
It looked smooth and it looked.
It was smooth.
Yeah.
So the
Wasn't
original
so
one's
aggressive.
Kinda like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it moved into the more triangles. Motherfuckers were stomping and then got back here and then over there.
And then with the hat.
Yeah, and with the hat spins
Yeah.
and all that sort of shit. So, there was a dude in my town. Loved all that sort of shit. I fucking frothed that shit, you know. I'm fucking like hard style, bro. I love hard style. Everybody out there doesn't know. I fucking fuck with, bro. I
I
fuck
can
with,
see you, mate.
I fuck with
can see
hard
you.
style big time. Anyway, this dude's shuffling at the pub, mind you, not at the club, at the pub. Okay, I think there was a PhD remix of Riverside, motherfucker.
Yeah, this would be like start of 2000s or mid 2000s.
This is 2007.
Yeah, somewhere there.
Yeah, 2007 this is. Anyway, this dude's fucking shuffling. Fucking shoes are too sticky in the pub. Takes his shoes off, right? Shuffling in his bare feet. As you do.
People doing socks too, yeah.
Yeah, shuffling barefoot. I think he had those slip-ons.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You remember
Right,
motherfuckers
right,
are rocking
yeah.
those like Everlast slip-ons?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he's taking them off. Anyway, he shuffled. Boom. Foot straight through. He stomped on a broken glass. Glass went straight through his fucking foot. Blood everywhere, bro.
They banned the next week. They're gonna sign
Yeah, no shuffling.
No barefoot
Keep
shuffling.
your shoes on. Fucking hell, that was a fucking
Those
horror
are the
story,
days,
though.
huh?
It's crazy. But so going back to Revolver, you've DJ'd there for how long?
This is my 16th year.
Fucking wild.
But
Veteran.
I'm stuck on the dinner sets, like, so on Thursday. So obviously everyone's goal getting into Revolver is to play the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
especially the Sunday.
Bugs
the
and
Sunday.
all this shit.
Everybody
Yeah.
wants to be booked.
Yeah.
or
But
wants to set.
the restaurant there, Colonel Tan's, that's fucking
Yeah, so
amazing,
anyway, I got
bro.
my foot in the door and they say, look, we've got Thursday, you want to do... So I worked on Thursday thinking this whole time I'll work my way up, right? But 15 years later, I'm like, hey, like, where's my... They go, the only way you can get into Sunday is if someone like Boogs retires or dies. Because, you know, these
got locked
guys,
off.
they've been there as long as you have.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you shot yourself in the foot. You've done too well on a Thursday for us to find a replacement.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so you got to stay Thursday. So look, I'm happy I'm there. I'm happy I'm there for that long. I'm happy that, and I'm blessed that they've looked after me this whole time and been loyal to me. I've been loyal to them, you know, and yeah, man, like
So that's literally every Thursday for 16
I've been there
years.
every Thursday just about for 16 years. Yeah,
That's gangster.
yeah.
That's gangster as
Yeah,
fuck.
so, yeah, man. And from that, I've gained a lot of gigs from doing the dinner sets. Like, heaps of people come, oh, do our wedding. You know, we've sat here for 3 hours, this and you play the dinner set. Come do our wedding, this and that, whatever. Or just being noticed from there, you know.
Yeah,
So-
100%.
Do you have a favourite gig that you've ever played?
Ever? Oh, I don't know, man. Every gig's a good gig.
Yeah.
Even the shit ones are good. It's a gig, man. I'm not out there shoveling cement.
Do you,
in
do you
40
think
degrees.
do you think your steez adds to your DJing element as well? Because you are a highly steezy individual.
I don't know, man. Like, I never think of that. Like,
Or do you think that the DJing made you steezy?
Nah, I think it helps each other.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck
I
yes.
think it helps each other. Like,
Hand in hand.
When I tell, especially the kids, like, what do you do? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a DJ. I can see their eyes light up. I take for granted sometimes, like, what I do is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for work. And yeah, kids like that, they're like, oh my God, you're a fucking DJ. And it makes me realize, like, shit, like, I'm grateful, like, I'm thankful, like, you know what I mean? To do what I do and been doing it for so long. I never thought, again, it's one of those things like being a stormtrooper. DJing was never on my list, right? Like, I worked in retail for 15 years, managed retail stores and stuff like that. And then started going to raves on the weekends, started buying, I've always bought music, right?
Yep.
So like CDs, whatever. And then I just amassed a whole collection of like music, started buying singles, CD singles and things like that. And then I bought like these early day CD players so I could like, because after the raves, when we go back to someone's house, I was the guy picking the songs, right? I was the home DJ kind of person. And then after that, I thought, let's buy some equipment and see what happens, right? So did that, and then got offered a gig at a friend's cafe opening on Swanson Street. This was like late 90s, whatever. Oh, come play. I'm like, I play trance music. You want to play trance music at the opening of a cafe? Yeah, it doesn't matter. We all rave, all good. Like,
fucking oath.
did that, and then it just went from there. And then from that, like, started getting gigs on the weekends here and there. Started off at raves actually instead of clubs, like playing after parties of raves, like at the Cage and stuff like that. And then it got to a point where the gigs and the retail job was getting in the way, because Friday night, late night shopping, work till 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Go straight to the gig, DJ till 4 or 5 in the morning, 2 hours sleep, come back, have to be there all day, Saturday, busiest day for retail.
Yep.
Right? And then back to it again Saturday night for gigs. It's all right for the first couple of years because, you know, you're excited, whatever, I'll do whatever, and you're younger. And then it got to a point where it was just getting in the way. I had to choose one or the other, right? Retail, I made all right money, but it wasn't really going
Retail's
up
come and
or
go,
down,
you know, yeah.
like, had money in my pocket on the weekends. I'd spend it because I get paid Tuesday.
Yeah.
No worries. So I never really saved any money, this and that. If I do the DJ thing, I know a lot of DJs who don't get work for weeks sometimes. I got bills to pay every week. Like, I can't not have work every week, right? So it's a big risk. What do? Speak to my wife, Suze. Like, oh, what do I do? No, she goes, do this for 12 months. I'll support you if I have to for 12 months. And then after 12 months, if it doesn't work out, go back to retail. She goes, I don't want you to be 50, 60 years old and go and look back and go, I should have, I could have, that was my chance.
Yeah.
Right, what if?
Yeah.
That was almost 20 years ago now, man.
That's beautiful.
And
That's beautiful.
So
Chase your dreams.
big love to her. I mean, I credit my whole life pretty much to her from there. Like, if it wasn't for her support and for her encouragement, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And knock on wood, man, like, I've never not had a gig.
There you go.
Like,
Success.
for a
Skills
long
pay the
time.
bills, brother.
Success.
You know, like, yeah, some weeks less, some weeks more. But it's okay. I put food on the table and pay rent, and
That's
you
so
know,
fresh.
I get to do what I want, basically, you know, and
You're doing what you love.
pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
That's what it is.
That's so fresh.
Beautiful, bro.
So, have you always stuck same genre? Or
No,
you ever,
okay, well,
let me know about your genre evolution.
so I started from playing underground techno and trance and all that, because back when I started DJing, if I played any sort of pop music,
Yeah.
my peers would be like, oh,
What's this? What are you
what's
doing?
this crap, you know, like.
What
but
kind of
then
techno are we talking?
We're talking
like
rave techno,
underground
like hard
resistance.
techno, yeah, all that, everything. But then I realized there was more gigs in the general community,
Yeah.
pubs, bars. There's more general public than there is cool underground people,
Yeah, definitely.
right?
The
And
niche.
there's more general gigs than there is cool underground gigs. But everybody wants to be a cool underground DJ,
Yeah.
right? And I come from pop. Like, when I first started listening to music when I was a teenager, I come from Kylie and Metallica.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I remember
Exactly
my
what you mean.
first 2 cassettes was Kylie and Justice for All. Like, it's like a contrast. So, and growing up in Malaysia, that was all I could get.
Yeah.
Like, pop music.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about punk or all the other genres of music, right? And I loved it. I love just music in general, right? So once I started out as a DJ, I felt the freedom to be able to play pop music. And so when I first got my few like general sort of public gigs, I was like, oh my God, like there's no people not hating it. People love it.
Yeah.
You know, if I play this fucking Kylie song, Madonna song, or Michael Jackson song,
Yeah.
people are dancing and screaming and saying I'm best and shit. So, like, I think that was what carried me through, like being an open format DJ.
Yep.
Instead of, oh, I'm a techno DJ.
Yeah, I
or
strictly
I'm
do
I'm
this.
a prog DJ. And
Forward
of course, I
flow.
went through my phases.
Yep.
In 2000, me and 3 other guys met at an after party, right? So Suze went to a rave. I was at home. She met some friends, went back to their house, which was up the road from our house in Hawthorne, and then rang me in the morning. He goes, "Hey Hans, I'm at a kick-on, right?
Yeah.
There's like 30, 40 people at this house. You need to come." I'm like, "Nah, I'm sober. Like, I have slept the night before. Probably not." No. There's every sort of person here. Sober, pregnant people. Like, this is like everyone. You need to come. These people are the best, right? I'm like, oh, when I'm kicking and screaming again, like, all right, I'll come, like, whatever. Turned up, and it was the best ever. Met these 3 other guys, 2 other DJs and an MC.
Yep.
And we were sitting around, we were talking, and we go, hey, look at all our friends. There's like 30, 40 people here, you know? It's so hard to get gigs. Why don't we start our own party, right? And if all of our friends come, that's a party. We don't need anyone else. All right, let's do it. He goes, I've got some speakers at home. Yeah, what genre do you want to do? And at that time, new school breaks were in.
Yeah.
We were just getting into the new school breaks, you know, like Solo Man, Crafty Cuts.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
Crafty
Club
Cuts.
DJs, Stanton Warriors.
Yep.
So that was huge. It was still all vinyl days.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, let's do this. So we organized it. Someone drew a flyer. We photocopied it, put flyers out in the shops, group texted our friends because there was no social media back then, right?
Group text.
Yeah, and we found at, I think it's called Ding Dong Lounge now.
Yeah,
Is
Ding-
it Ding Dong Lounge? What was it
Oh,
called?
in the alleyway?
Used to be called the International, I think.
Okay.
The
Yeah. Is that
International.
next to the Brea House?
Yeah,
the corner.
You used to call it International?
Oh,
Is it
no,
on the
it's
corner?
No, it's
No, it's in that alleyway
opposite
next to-
Flower Drum or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
It's next to
Oh, yeah.
the Brea House.
Yeah, Ding Dongs.
Yeah.
Ding Dongs. They had a side room. So they had a regular night going
Yep.
in the main room. They had a side room which fit probably 50 people, 40 people like this, right? We dragged our speakers up, whatever. 70 of our friends came for the first party. And we were like, oh my God, like, this is great. So everyone's happy. Venue owners are happy. He goes, can we do the next one next month? We're like, all right, come back to the next one. And next one, 150, 200 people turned up. And the owner said, look, we can't fit you all in there. Why don't we swap rooms? You can have the main room.
Yeah.
Right?
What was the name?
Beats Working.
Beats Working.
Yeah. Beats
Beautiful.
Working.
Beats working.
Yeah. So it was 3 DJs and 1 MC.
Yeah.
Right. And we did breaks while the MC, and he was a drum and bass MC, so he could spit over shit like that.
See.
And we did this party once a month for 5 years, and from there, we all got recognized. We got invited to Rainbow Serpent, invited to Earthcore, got invited everything.
That's
We did
unreal.
everything, and so from there, all our careers, DJ careers, like blossomed.
Yeah.
Because before that, it was hard. Like, you know, there was it's already established DJs. We weren't really legit DJs. Like, as in, we didn't start out properly in the scene,
Circuit.
Yeah.
in the circuit. You know, we didn't do the hard yards. But from there, everyone got recognized. We started, our names are on flyers,
That's it.
and then that's where until today. Like, I think just another one. The main guy and me are still DJs.
Fresh.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Fresh.
Beautiful.
yeah.
That's it.
And
Another
from
success
there, we
story.
learn how to DJ. We learn how to do promotion. We learn about the industry. We just made heaps of friends, man, and we just kept at it.
Just trial and error along the way.
Everything, man. Like, but we in 5 years, every month, man, we never had a shit party. It was always packed.
Yeah.
We did from grassroots, man, and every month we drew a flyer, photocopied it, printed it on cards, like, and just
Who would draw it?
Eric. His name's Eric Ryan, DJ Oblivious. Have you heard of Oblivious?
I've heard of DJ.
Yeah, he's assistant headmaster of a massive girls' school.
Is he?
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah. Wow.
Contrast.
yeah, and he plays 45s now.
Yeah.
He's a
Fresh.
big funk. He used to be a lead singer in a punk band from LA. He's American.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick.
Wow. And he plays 45 or funk records and shit.
Everything,
Yeah.
everything 45.
Yeah. Stays.
Who's your favourite skater?
Skater?
Yeah, I'm just talking about Melbourne.
Just
Melbourne.
Melbourne?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Hey, in the
know.
world. In the
In the
world.
world.
In the world.
probably someone like Kalis.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a big like Kalis Williams.
Yeah,
There you
same.
All the old schoolers, man. Like I love that.
So Love
90s.
Park
That's the
had-
Steves.
yeah.
That's the Steves.
I love that 90s stage, that die deck. Basically, most of the
Die
DC
deck.
team.
Yeah.
Um,
The DC video when that shit came out
that was massive, dude.
changed my fucking
Glory
life.
days,
Like, yeah, man.
Actually changed my
But
life.
all of them, like, you know, not necessarily DC, but like, you know, people like Kareem.
Yep.
Um,
That street flavor.
I started skating in '86
Yeah.
or '87, so I come from
Mm.
the
That's-
Bones
that's
Brigade.
start.
Mountain.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? Yeah.
Gleaming
I,
the cube.
I was a big Mountain fan, a big Hosoi fan.
Yeah.
I was never a big Tony Hawk fan because I thought he was a bit nerdy, whatever.
Yeah.
But now he's probably my most respected skater.
Yeah.
He's the Michael Jordan of skateboarding.
I used
you
to
know?
like Rodney Mullins.
Yeah, Mullen, you know.
And then
but I was
all
more
the
day
street
one.
skaters played me out. They're like,
I
"You
was
like
more
Rodney
day one,
Mullins?"
you know. I don't know where it was the Asian thing
Hey,
or you
day
know,
one
I
was
was
a
team day
fucking
one.
goat.
Yeah, day
Yeah.
one was a go.
Day one was so much steez, you know, like just. All
He's
these
on the
steez
shipping
heads-
containers?
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
I
You're
mean, like
it's
current skaters, maybe like someone like Tiago,
Yep, yep.
you know, like because he's just adopted the
He's
90s.
nuts.
Just the way he dresses, man.
Bro, he does
like,
back tails that go for
oh,
like
just
fucking
the way he
4Ks.
dresses, like, and just the way he steers his stuff out.
So that's why I said that your steez and the DJing, because with skating as well, like the steez goes hand in hand. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I've always kind of like, I wouldn't say follow the trends,
Yeah.
but like, you know, I always bought clothes for the time.
Yeah.
But I've always maintained that, you know, that 90s skater. I
Flavor.
love tracksuits.
Yeah.
Like the parachute stuff. That was my thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, I've always loved the fat
Alphanumeric.
shoes. I was never into skinny shoes at all. The only time
What's your favorite skate shoe?
Callus. Fucking know the
Callus.
Callus DCs.
Callus, when they brought them out again, man,
Bro.
I was like, oh my god, I was like this.
Bro,
Like,
I was actually going to wear my pair today, but I looked down and they're white and I've been skating and they're so busted. I'm like, if I don't have my board on me, I can't wear
the
them.
only skinny shoe phase I went through was I wore some Vans when I rode Fixies.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because they were the only shoes that would go into the
slip,
straps.
yep.
You know what I mean? Like I couldn't wear big fat shoes, but only for a little while, only for a few years, and I hated them because they hurt my feet.
Yeah.
They didn't look steezy. They were so skinny.
Yeah.
You know, I did go through the skinny jeans phase as well, but not like super
No.
tight, like crazy spray on shit. You
Yeah.
know. And now I've come back to everything's gotten
Because
bigger
they
again.
complement the baggy pants. That's
Hell
the
yeah.
thing, you know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
And unless
definitely
you
catch
like,
it.
you can't really rock baggy pants with like say like your Nike Freeze or something like a thinner shoe like that,
you can't.
unless you got a drawstring down the bottom
We
or
would
some sort of tighten.
buy Steve shoes, like so we'd carry 2 pairs of shoes around in the 90s, like one pair of skate shoes
Mm. Yeah.
and one pair for when you're not
Yeah.
sessioning, right? We're walking around or whatever. We'd buy the Air Maxes like half size or one size
Yeah.
smaller, so your tongues would stick out.
Yeah,
your
yeah.
toes are like this, were curled up, but your tongues would stick out and they look fat.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and we used to like cut tongues off and put double tongues.
Double
Yeah.
tongues.
Double
Double
tongues.
tongues.
the whole
Double
thing.
tongues.
Because you had to double tongue your superstar, otherwise your fat laces don't work, right? Your shoes fall off. This was all before the elastic straps in the tongues, right? So all sorts of weird shit, man. Like,
It's hilarious.
I always really like skate shoes though for the technology and shit that they brought to the table.
the
The tech. Like they always had some sort of tech about them. Do you know what I mean? Like architecture with them. Whereas a lot of other shoes was just like, that's a shoe. Do you know what I mean? There's tongue, there's laces, but the skate shoes were always sold.
Yeah,
Like this has some
look-
high performance technology with it.
I didn't get just recent. I wasn't not so recent anymore. Maybe like 3 or 4 years now. Like the whole flood pants thing, like
The what pants?
The pants that are like cuffed real high.
Oh,
Three
yeah.
quarters.
Not 3/4. Like dudes going around like that when the hipster
Oh,
thing
when
came
they're cuffing the pants.
Wait.
cuffing the pants or
They
like
only
people
work
have-
with Air Maxes.
Not even like.
Yeah, I'm going to stand by that. They work with Freeze and Air Maxes. You
Like
can't
when
do it
when
with skate
people- when
shoes,
people
bro.
Have your pants up this
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
You can't do it
like-
with skate shoes.
Yeah.
Can't do it with
To
skate
be honest,
shoes.
Carney brought that wave in
Oh my
2011.
God, like, and especially when they're baggy.
Oh, no.
Like you know
No,
that
that's
there's that
Cardinal
steez
shit.
now where it's baggy.
Oh, I
and
know what you're
tight.
talking about. The
Travesty
hash
look.
The
Yeah,
hash kids.
yeah.
With
I
the,
don't get that. And like,
the beanie like this.
man, so many on Chapel Street still like those
Yeah.
guys that come from the suburbs. They got the tight jeans with the torn like with the extra
the
long
extra long
tee.
shirt, nah, can't do
What
that.
is that shit,
The Nina
man?
Pasadena
Like-
look. It's the NXP.
No hate, I get it. You do what you do, right? But that's just not for me, man.
yeah,
like,
Different,
it's just-
different
that's
courses for
different.
different
I
horses.
don't get it, and it's always like the puffy chest with the, you know.
You gotta go to the gym, mate,
It's
to
like-
make your long shirt
It's
look
like,
swole.
dude, Ed Hardy died long ago. What's going on?
Oh,
Like,
this is Nina Pasadena. This is different.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, you look tough as hell. You look gangster as shit. You got fucking tats coming up your neck and your face and shit. But you're wearing your sister's jeans that are too short and tight.
The Just Jeans ones.
I don't know, man. It's,
Yeah.
bro, come
And
on.
also jeans.
You need to not forget leg day. You need
Jeans.
to wear some pants that are bigger.
Jeans with elastic on them. You should never wear jeans with elastic on it unless you're a kid.
Especially
Jeans
denim.
that have denim that has elastic
Oh
in
my
it is for
God,
kids.
I don't
If
get
you're an
it.
adult wearing
I
denim
don't
with
get it.
elastic in it,
But to be honest,
Cut it out.
the boom jeans, bro. Can you remember boom jeans?
Yes, boom
they
jeans.
were the ones.
Boom jeans or
They were the
like
ones.
M2O. Remember M2O?
M2,
Yeah.
That was big.
I got a boom spray jacket at home still.
Boom, were they Aussie?
Now, Boom belongs to Anthony Mapstone.
Oh, really?
Fast Times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when Anthony first came from New Zealand, he started Boom Skate Shop in the city. I think it's called something else. But
Yeah, no.
PSC.
No, PSC was
Nah,
with
no, this
Fast
was
Times. That's Peninsula
before-
Skate. That was way before
this
that.
was-
So it's Boom, and then there was PSC.
Yeah. So
And then
Boom was
PSC
in Burke
turned
Street.
into...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burke Street Mall.
Really?
Before your
Wow. So it's next to that
Before
place
my
that-
time.
What about that place that was selling that
Yeah,
little
probably-
place
yeah, probably-
next to
that's
that
probably
place?
around
Is
there,
that why
yeah.
they were stocked with all the skate
Oh, no,
gear?
that wasn't... No,
That
no.
was Melbourne Skate Shop.
That was Melbourne
Yeah.
Skate Shop.
That was original. That was the first skate shop in Melbourne.
Okay.
Bro,
so,
when they
so
closed
let's talk
down-
about this spot.
When-
Melbourne Skate Shop is next to the
Bro.
chessboard, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Used to go
Okay.
in there and there was bird shit on everything, pigeons in there. They sold like secondhand duffs.
Yeah. They
Shit like that.
Everything. They sold secondhand everything.
Yeah, they used to sell hookup decks for so
yeah,
much.
yeah.
They were real expensive. I was always like, why the fuck are the hookup boards so expensive? I used to come down
$250.
here when I was a kid.
Because they were imported, like, yeah.
But you go across the road to PSC and they weren't that expensive.
This PSC came a long time after, though.
Yeah, well, this I'm
Yeah.
talking about when I was there.
Yeah. This was. I'm talking like late '90s, maybe
Yeah.
mid '90s. Like,
So was this when the sale yards were there?
yeah, this was sale yards.
Did
Oh,
you
this
use
was
this-
before sale yards.
Did you use the skate sale yards?
So before sale yards, there was flatlands. You know
Wait.
what flatlands is?
Nah.
Okay, so you know where Fed Square is?
Schoolless.
Fed
Schoolless.
Square used to be the gas and fuel building, right? And it used to be. There used to be shopping, like a tiny little shopping mall at the bottom with like 4 or 5 stores, and then on the top there used to be just flat cement, and it used to be called Flatlands, opposite from the Street Station,
Yeah.
because it was just flat, right?
Yeah.
Skaters, roller skaters,
Flatland.
BMX, everybody was there. You got benches. And
Was
whatever.
there graph there? Was there?
Yeah, there was a little bit of
did,
graph and
did
stuff.
people used to
Yeah,
paint there?
yeah, I used to paint a little bit, and then you used to be able to look over to the train, the train tracks, and something. And it used to be called Flatlands. This was like early to mid '90s, and then they demolished that because they wanted to rebuild Fed Square, and then they put us to sale yards where QV is,
Yeah.
and the ramps from there were the old rollerblade Australian titles ramps, in blue.
True.
Yeah, so that's why no one could skate it, because they're all rollerblade ramps.
Yeah, because they're steep as shit.
Yeah, it's steep as hell, steep and short. And then
'Cause I remember-
once they wanted QV back, they built Riverside.
Mm.
I always call it Riverside. It's River Slide,
Slide.
right? Yeah.
It's slide. Yeah.
Riverslide.
I always say Riverside too, because it's Riverside. Yeah.
It is Riverside.
Yeah, but you
right?
do slides there. It's the play
Oh,
on
this
the
was
words.
this is going back a long time ago.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Long time ago, man.
See, when I was talking about when I first went there, that would have been like 2002, 2003.
Yeah, I
That's
stopped,
the era that I
stopped
was talking
skating. I
about.
stopped skating then. Like, I found a rave.
Yeah.
When did you get back into skating?
February 2019.
Ooh.
Made the comeback.
I had to, I don't know, a few months before that, I was digging for some old skate stuff, and I found it, and I wanted some information on it, so I went on the internet, and I found the 9 Club,
Mm.
and I started watching the 9 Club, and what was this podcast? Like, oh, I know these skaters, and then everything they talked about, every name they dropped, I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly every single thing they're talking about. Like, so it kind of got me sparked up again. Like,
Yeah.
look, I've always had a skateboard, go to the milk bar, that kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
so I've always kind of skated, but haven't done tricks for like 19, 20 years.
Yeah.
And I thought, how hard can it be? So I got on the YouTube, fucking hole,
Now you're in Paran doing tray flips
And
on the
then-
bank and shit.
and then started thinking about it, and I go, hey, I still got skateboard. I can still kind of skate from A to B. How hard can it be? I watch some tricks. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, easy, right?
Yeah.
Didn't realize about cardio, muscle memory, the conditioning. So the first couple of months was hard. That first couple of weeks especially was like, you know, I think paranoia and ego got in my way, you know. Oh, what if I rock up, got all fresh gear, I look like I can skate, but like all these boys are gonna think I'm an idiot, like show off or poser or whatever, you know. But after a few months I got over it. I thought, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then worked on my cardio and worked on getting back into it. So every day or every other day I go back, you know, had to learn how to ollie again. It took 6 months to learn how to ollie again. I still don't have my ollie properly, but 6 months to get the kickflip back.
Yeah.
And it just went from there.
Was kickflip easier to get back than the ollie?
I think so.
Kikis are pretty chill.
That's nuts. I haven't unlocked either, so
Proper
I
ollies
can't
are hard
wait.
to do,
I
man.
can't wait to do my.
Like anyone
To
can jump
master an ollie, to master that sort of shit is like there's levels.
to have no worries about skating down the road and seeing a manhole and just pop with confidence or pop up a curb with confidence is hard. I still like get a bit weirded out if I'm flying down the road and something's in the way. I gotta pop up on the
Yeah.
curb. I'm like, shit, what am I tripping for? Right? And it's happened before, you know, where I'm just too comfortable. I'm not concentrating, and I just like the curb's this big, man.
Yeah.
If I can trip and fall in front of 100 people, and you're like,
That's all
you're
a part
okay,
of
man.
it.
Like,
That's all a part of it, though. That's
Yeah,
that's
so-
the risk and reward.
Yeah, but at my age, man, like and after knee surgery especially, like
Yeah.
it takes me like half an hour, 40 minutes to actually warm up.
Yep.
Like I can't ollie. When I get to the park, it takes me half an hour to get that first ollie. I really need to warm everything up, stretch, do the whole thing, and I probably got a good 2-3 hours after that,
Yeah.
and then it starts going down
Declining.
again. Yeah, because you get to the skate park, right? Everyone's flying. You're like, yeah, I want to fly too. And within 10 minutes, you try tricks, and then that's it. Game over. You like, can't skate anymore. The next day, you like can't walk. So yeah, like I have to constantly tell myself, you're not 16 anymore.
Yep.
It's okay if you can't do that switch hard. Like you should just be happy at your age. You're out.
Yeah.
You're on your board and you're rolling.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's
beautiful.
you're winning already.
Yeah.
You know, anything that comes on top of that is extra.
No, that's a great
So
lesson.
you don't have to keep up with. You got to remember, this guy's 22. He's complaining he's old, but he's half your age.
Shredding.
You know, shredding.
Shredding.
You know what I mean? And he's
Shredding,
complain-
shredding better than most of the pros when we were young.
Exactly. You know, like. I know I'm skating better than I was skating back in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm smarter about things now. You know,
Yeah.
like, I know my limits. I know what not to do. You know, I know how to fall. I had to learn how to fall again too.
Yeah.
That first big fall I had, just like on the shoulder, on the side and stuff. It's like I laid there for 5 minutes, man.
That's an art in itself, knowing how to stack.
Yeah, I could feel everyone crowding me. You alright, man? You good? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Just I'll be right. Like, we'll crawl
I'll be
home.
back on it.
Yeah. Eating. Make sure I eat well. You know, like.
Because DJs, as a DJ, I would say that it's hard to sustain a regular kind of like diet or healthy eating. Everything's on the go.
It's the sleep pattern. It's the sleep pattern. It's everything around you. You know, in the DJ world, especially if you play late nights, in a crowded place or in a popular club. Everything's too easy. You don't even have to go looking for things. Alcohol is number one. It's always there, right? It's given to you, copious amounts of it, right? And then everything else that comes under, you're just offered like things. You don't have to go looking for it. It's just there, you know. So the attraction is just like you have to tell yourself after a while, like, hang on a sec, like, I can't. People
Reel
always
it
think, you
in.
know, you're a DJ,
Yeah.
you play Revolver, that means you're always off your head.
Yeah,
like this
yeah.
and that. No, man, like I'm always sober when I play,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
At Rainbow, man, like when I play, normally my sets are on like a Monday morning. They always, for the last 10 years, I've always done the chill stage, like just before lunchtime, when people wake up and get ready to
Yep.
go for the last sesh. I'm pretty much always sober till after I play. People go, oh, you know, like have this, have that, whatever, do this, do that. You're not playing till Monday. I'm like, I can't. Like this,
Gotta be on.
this is what I do.
Yeah.
Right? Like I want to make sure I'm all there, and then we can party after.
That's huge.
Right? There's always time to party after.
Yeah.
So yeah, I make it a point to be as sober as I can.
It's like at gigs that we go to, people are always like, oh, I'll buy you a drink, I'll buy you a drink, I'll buy you a drink. I'm like,
it's
nah,
work,
brother.
it's
It's like,
work.
I appreciate that, but no, it's not really
It's
what I'm
work,
trying
man.
to do.
Like, and you know what made me realize that you can't do it. It's not the same when you're off your guts.
Nah.
No.
Because like long time ago, like I remember playing this big party, and I was smashing tunes, right? And every time I dropped a track, everyone's screaming this and that. And I was off my head, right? On pills or whatever.
Mm.
And then after my gig, everyone came up to me. That's the best set ever. You're a fucking sick DJ or whatever. I'm like, I recorded the set, right? I'm gonna post it up next week. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the best guy ever. Okay.
Listen
Went
back.
home, listened back when I was sober. I'm like, every mix was off. Every mix was a train wreck. But at the moment, you don't realize.
In the time, yeah.
Because you're same headspace as everyone else. Everyone's having a good
But
time.
everyone's having fun.
You know what I
There's a
mean?
vibe
Like I
created.
can't post this. No one's ever going to listen to this again ever. If
Yeah.
I can help it, right? So from that, I noticed I'm like, okay, it sounds different when you're on things, whatever. When I used to smoke heaps of weed, yeah, I could smoke weed and do it. Drinking a little bit is okay, but anything else,
Yeah.
like you're in
Out
a
the
different
window.
mindset.
Yeah.
You know, like acid, pills, whatever. You're in a totally different mindset.
Oh, I'm going to freestyle over this bit for 3 minutes.
No way, no way. Like, you know, sometimes the music stops, you don't even realize because you're like, in your head,
Yeah.
you're still like,
Cool.
yeah, delayed reaction. So yeah, it's, I don't know, just try and be as professional as possible, right?
Well, you are the maestro. Like you're conducting the crowd.
Yeah.
Do you find it cool? Like you can put on a certain tempo and you can see how
Yeah.
people move differently, and then
Well,
you can
that I learned from doing long sets, especially the dinner set. So Revolver dinner set, 5-6 hours at a time, has taught me heaps. First of all, to be patient, and secondly, people might not be dancing, but they're sure as hell listening.
Yeah.
You know, so my gauge before Corona, like to tell whether I was doing an okay job, was people come in, they have dinner, I play the music, and if they finish dinner in their own pace, get a drink from the bar and come and sit on the couches instead of rushing to eat and get the fuck out of there,
They're enjoying it.
I know I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? Because I've seen DJs do the dinner sets and people can't wait to go because it's too loud or it's too in
Abrasive,
their face, too
yeah.
abrasive, you know, like, and it's not comfortable for someone to just chill because not
'Cause you
everyone's
need to
there.
set the vibe.
No,
yeah.
not everyone's there to do Melbourne Shuffle at 7 p.m.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've always said like a large part of music should exist in the subconscious.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The music
Yeah.
should be there to like guide you, inspire you, keep you moving, keep the conversation flowing, something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just to fill the space.
And so from that gig, I've learned, you know, how to do the wedding sets, you know, because
Yeah.
most of the wedding, it's only the last hour of the wedding when
Yeah.
people want to dance.
Yeah.
The rest of the 5 hours before
People
that,
catching
everyone's
up.
just sitting, talking, chatting, so the volume has to be correct, the vibe has to be correct, you know, it can't be too in your face, you know, it can't be too abrasive like you said. So yeah, it's really a balance of everything, and that takes time, man, because like, when you're starting out and you
just want to play bangers when you
play
start
bangers,
out.
right?
You just want to go
Exactly.
fucking this and cunts. You want to go,
Exactly.
I'm going to play the freshest shit. Cunts are going to go, what the
Exactly.
fuck's this?
Exactly. And normally, you know, when you get a gig like that, it's an hour or two maximum, you know. It's a really short time. You just banger, 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 banger. Whereas if you've got like
about
5,
the
6,
journey.
7 hours, if you play your bangers,
Yeah.
you're out of tunes like within an hour. What are you going to do after that?
Yeah.
Right? Like, so it's just pacing. It's just pacing, patience, a lot of patience. A lot of patience.
Especially when you're playing like techno and other dance songs, the tracks can go for a long time. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And there can be
exactly.
like that feeling to like, oh, this has been
Yeah.
going on for a while, and pull it up, and it's like, oh, what? You're 2 minutes into a fucking 7-minute song, and you've dumped your whole crate already. Do you know what I mean?
Like, you got a long way to go, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just patience. But that comes with age. That
Yeah.
comes with maturity. Like, yeah, just blessed to still be able to be doing it, man. Like, I on my 40th birthday, I thought, okay, this is it. Like, it's time to pack up. No one wants to hire a been there DJ that's like, it's a bit creepy, 40-year-old guy playing to like 16-year-olds at a club, you know, like all these doubts in my head,
Yeah.
you know. And then a few people came up to me and go, hey, why are you thinking like that? Like, think about who are the top 10 DJs in the world,
Yeah.
right? And think about how old they are.
Exactly.
And then, you know, I thought about it and I realized, maybe this isn't a trade that you can cheat your way into. There's no shortcuts, right? This is about experience. This is about musical knowledge. And I find that to be true because now I can play stuff that I used to play in the early 2000s, late 90s, which everybody played.
And it's new
I play it
again.
now, and the kids are like, what the hell is this? This is a banger. I'm
Yeah.
like, and at first reaction,
Yeah.
I'm like, you've never heard of this? And I'm like, oh yeah, you're 18.
Yeah. Yep.
Great, awesome. I can play this set that I used to play at the 7 nightclub in like
Yeah.
2002.
Yeah.
Right, and educate them. A
Yeah,
little bit,
exactly.
you
And that's
know?
the beautiful
That's
part.
the communication.
I was saying this about to Marcy the other day. I was like, so many tracks are coming out lately that are like, I know that sample was this song. Back in the
Recycle.
day. That sample was this
Recycle.
song. That's just this. That
And,
do you know what I mean?
And half of them are shitty remixes of old
Yeah.
tracks, but the other half, an improvement. It's like
Yeah.
a remastered
Yeah.
version of the track that
Yeah.
was a good track that sounded terrible, but now it sounds great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
so
like
there's
back
a
in
lot
the
of
day,
that.
you're like, oh, you can't sample that.
Yeah,
Just Blaze sampled that.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
Th- there's no rules these days
Yeah.
anymore. Like, if it sounds good, it sounds good.
100%.
And yeah, come back to that era where a lot of us fail to educate the new.
Yeah.
Now is the time. Let's do it now.
That's what it's all about.
Let's do it
It's
now.
all about
You know, There's
education.
no more hate. Let's just
Yeah.
And these days it's quite easy to see if people dig your shit.
Yeah.
Because you can see the phones at the Shazam coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking know. Fucking know.
It's definitely a leave your ego at the door kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Guide,
Yeah.
you know, the youth,
Yeah.
and just hand over the spirit
Yeah.
and pass on the song lines and,
And
shit.
like, and that's the best thing, like the educating people on what was fresh,
Yeah.
because like they don't know about it, they hear it, and then you can help make a fresh future.
Yeah.
Because now
Yeah.
they're going, oh, that's fresh, and it whole lives
Creating
again.
fresh-
and
fresh
You never
memories.
know. You might be at the club, you've
Exactly.
played this track that you thought was fresh 15 years ago. They're hearing it for the first time. Holy shit! 15 years time, that person could be a DJ.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then they
Fine,
play that
next
song.
time.
Exactly.
They play that same song because they're
Exactly.
like, oh man, Hans played this song.
Yeah, and I'm always about like, there came a time when I was jaded for a few years, right? Like, oh look, you know, like this same like new crew don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day this, back in the day that. Man, so over it. Like for the last 5 or 6 years, I've been like forward. It's all about the younger generation. Like I'm all for the new shit.
Yeah.
Like I love trap music. I
Yeah.
love that. I don't know if I love mumble rap, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
You know, I get it.
I like
Yeah.
Trippie Redd. If you've heard of an artist called Trippie Redd,
No, I haven't.
no, he's pretty good.
I love all that shit. You know, I love the beats. It's so clean now. It's so clear. You know, like Juicy is my guy.
Yeah.
I love Juicy. I mean, big ups to Big Simon shit. You know, like
Yeah.
he and DJ CWD, they educated me on the hip hop side of things.
Yeah.
Because when I was a resident at Blue Bar, it used to be like I played the Friday night, so it used to be like half a night of house, half a night of pop, half a night of hip hop, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But then they changed it to like let's do hip hop 7 days a week. I'm like shit, what I'm gonna do? I don't.
Yeah, how
fuck
crazy
up.
is that, hey?
Like, I don't even know what the relation
Yeah.
of Biggie and Tupac is like,
Yeah.
or what not relation they have. So I had to study all that and learn all that.
Yeah.
And Big Simon and all that, they guided me through the
Big
Yeah.
shout out
The-
to Big Sign.
Yeah.
ropes of all that.
Because I remember like when I first came here, there wasn't really anywhere that played hip hop.
No.
You
they-
go to most places and hip hop would not really be played.
No, because the only hip hop here was be like the Bogan poetry style.
Yeah.
You know.
But like I mean, even like party places like wouldn't be playing American hip hop or nothing.
Well, everything in the top 40 now, or
Is
majority of
hip-hop
top
now.
40 is hip hop now.
Yeah.
Especially for the last few years, everything's hip hop.
That's
You
what
can't get
pop
away
music
from it.
is. Pop
Yeah.
music is hip hop.
Exactly.
I can remember Favela talking about Big
Yeah,
Sam and just,
Favela.
just all the beat, that era. All the big hip hop songs would drop in America. Then a week later, they drop at Favela, Hard in the Paint. Songs are coming out,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they were getting dropped at the clubs.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
didn't realise it how fresh it was back then. But
Yeah, because
it's a
other
really
than that,
cool-
it was only like Aussie
And you
hip
can
hop
you,
gigs.
you can tell the age of the club, like of the crowd that's there, just by dropping tunes, right? Like, so 5 or 10 years ago, if I dropped Spice Girls, I'd be booed at.
Yeah.
But now if I drop Spice Girls,
it's a throwback.
throwback, right? Because everyone has their moment of when they got into music and when whatever that music was, whether bad or good, that was their time.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's the year 11, year 12 stage, start meet girls, start hanging out with crew. So how good or bad the music at that time, and
You're
everyone
locked
has a different section of time, right? Like for my time, it would be like Michael Jackson, Prince, all that.
Yeah.
And then it moves on, and then it moves on. Well, so you just have to keep up with that, especially with the general crowd.
Yeah.
And once you find that window,
They're like capsules.
you know, like you can play Butterfly now, but what's that? What's that
Oh,
group?
come my lady. Come
Yeah,
Come on.
right. I play that track now, and people get lit, like because they remember. Oh, I listened to this in year 11.
Yeah.
Oh, this was my prom fucking music. You know, like, but if I played that 5 years earlier, it was too soon.
Yeah.
Everybody, oh, this is cheesy, this is crap. Like,
Yeah.
Did that
you
song,
know?
Go Away to Beautiful Girl.
Yeah, and like in 10 years' time, I could drop any Justin Bieber track and people would go, Bieber.
Now, you've already got me now, bro. If you
You,
put one on.
you know what I mean? Like, so you just got to find that. And Michael Jackson had a back seat for a few years, but Michael Jackson. You can
Yeah.
still play Michael Jackson and it goes
He's
off.
timeless, bro.
Yeah.
He's timeless.
It's only Prince that's a little bit
Yeah, 'cause
obscure.
people are like, oh.
People are not so sure about, because they
Play
don't know
Rick
it.
James though. You can
Sorry?
play Rick James though.
Oh, you play Rick James.
you
can
definitely play Rick James.
Some tracks. Some tracks. People still ask me, like, who's this? Like, I play Mary Jane. Like, who's this?
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, so it's just a journey.
That's amazing.
It's a journey. Just keep moving forward, I think.
Definitely, that's a good one.
I mean, you stumble every now and then. Like, not every weekend is, especially for us general DJs, right? Like, not every weekend is like going off and the club's
Yeah.
packed. You know, sometimes I play to 2 bouncers, 2 punters, and 2 bartenders.
Yeah.
2 hours, right? Like, but that's the job.
Did the pay in the DJ community ever have like a kind of fluctuation? I heard that like there was a golden era where DJs were getting paid.
Depends on what DJ you are.
Yeah.
Depends on how big you are. Not everyone gets paid big money.
Yeah.
You know, most of us. The standard rate in Melbourne is $50 to $70 an hour. You know, depending on the place.
Yeah.
If it's a really small pub, whatever, you might get $40 or $30 with drink tab, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. It depends on where you're starting out and how big your name is and how good you can hustle, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
At the end of the day, $30 for an hour's DJ work is still a lot more than a lot of people make
Yeah.
Definitely.
doing a lot harder work. So you got to, I kind of see it like that, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of people go, oh, you should be asking more money and this. I'm like, yeah, but, you know, like, I'm not like, my name's not up there. You know what I mean? I might be doing this for a while, but I'm still happy to take the fair amount for
Yeah.
your venue and the party,
100%.
right? Unless there's something I don't want to do, or
Yeah.
not really keen on, then I'll just throw a big figure.
Yeah, another zero.
Yeah, but like for example, I did a 40th, a private 40th, on top of Tusk. You know, Tusk the
Tusk
cafe.
Lounge, yeah.
They've got an upstairs room, and they've been doing private parties in there. It was a 40th for a friend's friend. I don't even know. I didn't know anyone in there, and they put me onto them or put them onto me. And he started goes, oh, you know, I'm friend of friend so and so. I know Spacey Space, whatever, this and that. I'm having my 40th. Like, you want to play? I'm like, yeah, not really, but because how much you charge? I'm like, $100 an hour. He goes, all right, 3 hours, you're
Yeah.
booked. And then he came to me and goes, okay, so I used to come to Revolver like years ago. I won all the Revolver bangers, dropped me a list of all these cool fucking Revolver tracks, right? But I knew in my head, I'm like, it's a 40th. You got like, not all your friends are Revolver people,
Yeah.
right? They're mostly like
He's like, fuck
girls
it, I'm
and
40. I want to be in Revs again.
end up being a top 40 party,
Yeah.
you know, because that's what got the girls dancing.
Yeah.
And at the end, I'm like, hey, sorry I couldn't play like all your tracks, but you know the girls want to listen to like Chris Brown and stuff like that. And he goes, no, that's why I got you, you know, and didn't get someone like Spacey Space because I knew you'd have like the range, you know, to be able to do something like that. So same with weddings, you know. Every second wedding, people go, oh, it's gonna be a different wedding. It's gonna be a cool wedding with cool music. I'm like, no, mate.
It's always ends
You're
up the same.
Australian. You're having your wedding in Australia. You're gonna have Australian friends, right? You're gonna hear horses. You're gonna hear John Farnham,
Tony.
whether you like it or not, right? Like I ain't gonna front. Like I'm not being an idiot or dickhead.
Just telling the truth.
I'm telling the truth, you know. And 9 out of 10 times at the end of the wedding, like, oh, you did great, you know. I'm like, I know because I played enough weddings in Australia to know what needs to happen.
So, you know, as
John
a D-
Farnham needs to happen.
You know, and because at a wedding, you got 2-year-olds to 80-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, I can't give you like cool underground music for 7 hours.
Doesn't have techno there.
People are gonna
Grandma's
go, what the
fucking
hell is this?
having a
There
heart
may be 3 tweakers in the end are going, yeah, sick, bro. But
Yeah, so you have to learn how to be versatile and adapt, pretty much. You have to judge the fucking crowd.
yeah, you have to judge
And
it.
adapt.
You have to judge
And
it.
then set the... I love it.
You have to, it's work, like, and it's only now that I'm confident to say I'm a professional DJ.
Yeah.
Mm.
Up till like even a few years ago, I would never be. People go, what do you do? I'm like, DJ. Professional DJ? I'm like, nah, I haven't gone to DJ school or train. I can't
DJ
scratch.
school.
I can't scratch or this and that. I don't have a certificate to
Haven't
show
got the
you.
paperwork.
No, I haven't got the paper. I got no, I got no official LinkedIn.
Diploma in.
I got no
streets.
official LinkedIn to show you. Like, but I've got like 20 years of flyers with my name on it. You can see.
Fresh.
So yeah, that's that. And yeah, I always come back to like being grateful and thankful to be able to do what I do and still do it.
Okay, I know that you're progressive, but what style of music do you wish was fucking still pumping right now?
What style of music?
Yeah.
Look, techno's come back.
Oh, it's come back.
Prog's come back real good.
Like, real strong.
And I've been playing a lot of prog on my streams.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can. Like the streaming saved my soul during lockdown.
Yeah.
Like I found Twitch, and I made a whole new bunch of friends, gathered a new audience, no judgment. I get to do what I want. There's never been any negativity towards me on there.
That's so
I get a
dope.
nice little check from Twitch every month
Yeah.
for doing
It's
pretty
a nice
much
new
nothing.
platform.
It's a new platform, and I think that's where
the platform to shed off the hey, this is what I'm doing on the Instagram and be like more creative. Where it's just like, watch me, I'm gonna do my thing.
Yeah, it's helped me. Like, I had to get on the mic.
Yeah.
Because DJs don't get on the mic. What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
that's old school, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be interactive. So learn how to speak on the mic. And the first few times it's like, yeah, hello.
You quickly break that though,
Slowly, I'm still not great at it. I try and learn from someone like Mafia. Like we got on the Twitch journey together. We were both haters at first.
Yeah.
When the whole thing happened and everyone jumped on Twitch, we were still trying on Facebook and this and that. Because we were like, oh, who are these DJs? No, like, never seen them before. Bedroom guys getting thousands of likes. Like, they don't even DJ real clubs.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell do they know?
So, how do you actually on Twitch? There's no kind of like, because when we play music on say like YouTube Live or
Copyright?
whatever, yeah.
So there is.
Okay.
It's a very grey area on Twitch right now.
Yeah.
They're still having talks with Amazon.
Okay.
To try and get some rights and things like that.
Yeah.
But what we do is, because Twitch records your set and it puts it up after you finish going live, you can still
watch it later.
rewatch after that. So what most of us do is we delete it.
Yeah.
Just delete it straight off.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it's muted. Like, especially if you play, most of it's commercial music. And these days with Shazam stuff, the algorithms pick it up real.
Yeah.
Like even your underground music is picked up.
Yeah.
So we just delete it like straight after when
Yep.
it comes up. We just delete it.
Yeah.
So they can't find it.
Fresh.
I don't know if it works because they might have a record of it, but I have had no strikes yet. I've been on
beautiful.
it for like, I don't know, 7 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
And so far so good. So far, because YouTube took us down with anywhere from 10 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
YouTube I've got some of my early streams before the green screen and stuff on YouTube. Some of it's muted, but I haven't got any like official.
Yeah, because
like,
we did
warnings or
a
anything like that.
mix one time.
But my YouTube's not monetized.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
anything.
Because we did a mix one time, and then for fucking like the next 2 weeks, I was getting email almost every day being like, this track's just been detected.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
track's just
yeah,
been
yeah,
detected.
yeah,
This track's just been
So
detected.
Twitch is good like that, and people at the start complain, oh, how come your stuff's like muted or you've taken it off, like we can't watch it again. I'm like, think of it as a club, right?
Yeah.
If I'm playing on Friday night and you don't turn up, you can't go back and watch me at home,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Come again next Friday.
Yeah.
So that kind of like encourages people to follow you or whatever, to come and make a point to tune in.
So what time slots do you usually do?
I normally do Sunday morning,
Sick.
the Books time slot, because
Sick.
everybody wants to be Books, right?
Yeah.
and this way I can. And some people complain that it's too early or whatever, but I get anywhere from 15 to 100 viewers,
Sick.
depending who raids or who's up at that time. Or
So I'm just getting this kind of feel. Like I've seen Boogs' name on flyers, but I don't think I've seen the set. Is that like people go to Revolver?
He's the Revs guy.
Is he the Revs guy?
He's the
So
fucking
what
Revs
kind of
guy.
music does he play?
he plays,
Fucking like
I'd
deep
say
fucking
deep
techno,
house, like deep house, but his way.
Yeah.
Like he does a lot of like
Edits and
blending mixes, like, and he's the DJ's DJ. Like DJs go to watch him DJ because of the way he DJs. Like so many DJs have gotten his track list and tried to replicate it,
They can't.
but they can't because
Yeah.
of the way he DJs it.
Because
know,
he
the way
like
puts it
mixes like a crazy way. He'll bring things in.
Yeah.
He'll bring it in and be like,
Yeah.
you'll be like, oh, this track's coming in, and then it's like you're expecting it to come in and it don't come in,
And then
it
something else comes in,
Yeah,
right?
something,
Yeah,
do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
So
Like
it's like-
the way he blends it and the
Yeah.
way he teases the crowd
Yeah.
and all that sort of shit. Whereas a normal person would be like, oh shit, this song's coming in, and then it comes in just normally.
Like, I mean, of
Do you-
course, every DJ has their off days, right? And he's been there maybe a year, 2 years longer than I have. And he's been there every week. And, you know,
That's hard work.
You got
That's
to
a-
expect
that's
him to
life.
have some bad days or
But
some,
the consistency.
sometimes when he's not on point, you know. And when Boog's sometimes not on point, like his music is kind of hard to follow. It's hard to get into. But when he's on point, man, he's on fire. Like DJs, sometimes every Sunday morning, sometimes it's just DJs in the front, just like their jaws are on the ground, just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
Mastery.
oh my god, like he's a fucking wizard. So yeah, Boogs is he's not like his name is not out there for no reason. Like and I reckon he's talked more within the industry than he is
Within the population.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
because he's the DJ's DJ. Like DJs go to watch Boogs DJ.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it went from the cloth being because Ransom used to DJ, or does he still DJ?
He's still there.
And then it kind of went to Boogs. Did they have the same slot?
No. Ransom and DJ and Boogs do different music.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different types of music. Yeah. Ransom is a different entity altogether. Like Ransom is a legend in its own right. Like Boogs is known for that, for the DJ. Ransom has got a bigger resume,
Yeah.
and he's been around longer.
Can you fill us in on Ransom for the people out there that don't know?
Ransom, I really only got to know Ransom like probably the last 5 or 6 years. Like, well, I know we know each other for a long time, but like only because at Revolver, whatever. I played a couple of times for him at. He used to do this thing at the TOF called Pop Rocks
Yep.
on Friday night. So it's like the whole night of just pop music, like from the 70s, 80s, 90s, like.
That's unreal.
And he does it like because he's such a good DJ. It's like Gold FM on steroids,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
if
That-
Gold FM was
That's a
good,
big vibe, bro.
if Gold FM was fucking good, it'd be that night.
Yeah.
Like awesome, like it's great. I've never seen people do pop music like that.
Yeah,
Like,
sick.
it's good. It makes pop music legit.
Mm.
And I did that for a few years, so I guessed it for him a few times. I played for him a few nights as well, so it was good. Like I got to know him. Ransom's a dude, man. Like he's got so much wealth in knowledge of Melbourne. If you're into the street culture in Melbourne, man, and everything to do about it, and the lifestyle, like he's the guy, man. Like he used to be. I don't know about Graph that much, but I know his Graph history, his music history. He used to own Central Station Records. I worked at Central Station Records back in the day.
Yeah.
So he's just everything, man. He used to make music, make a lot of edits. I don't know if it's anymore, but he used to be the music guy. He wasn't exactly the booker, but everything pretty much had to go through Ransom.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to DJ at Revolver, you pretty much had to get Ransom's okay. Like,
Man.
yeah.
Just going back to Twitch and stuff like that. What we search to find you on Twitch?
HansDC. So HansDCCE.
Sick. And I heard that you DJ in the Stormtrooper.
No, I never DJed in the Stormtrooper.
no?
Never.
I DJ in the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, in the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, you got the green
I
screen.
got a green screen, so I DJ in a spaceship.
Oh, that's dope, bro.
Yeah, I always wanted to DJ in a spaceship. Yeah. And I finally figured out how I could, and I got a green screen, and I worked it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the shortlist? Was there any shortlist? Were you just like, I could be in a spaceship or I could be underwater?
No, it's always. Oh, at first it was like before the green screen it was like, yeah, I got my record collection on the back. The standard
Yeah, yeah.
DJ, like, yeah, I'm a DJ. Check out my fucking
Yeah.
studio, like. But no, once I got the green screen, it's always been a spaceship. So I've got a friend, Steve, who's a member of the 501st, or the Stormtrooper group I'm in, and during lockdown he lost his job for a few months too. So we communicated, and he basically sent me all these overlays of like spaceships with the windows cut out, so I could put like. I could put like graphics in the back and stuff like that.
Was that from like fan art, like
Yeah, just
Star
like,
Wars
just
fan?
like I don't know if you've seen like
fan fiction.
you've seen my Instagram, right? Like, so all the pictures on Instagram, basically.
Did you notice a change on your Twitch once you jumped into the?
I think I haven't taken down the latest Twitch one. So you could, if you go into my channel.
Did your Twitch start popping off a bit more as soon as you jumped in the spaceship?
Nah, my Twitch was really busy during like full lockdown in Melbourne, because a lot of people were at home and this and that, you know. And then I thought, okay, once work comes back or once the venue's open, I'm gonna stop Twitch because it was a temporary thing to get my soul in check. But a few people hit me up and say, hey, you gonna keep doing this or what? I'm like, I don't know, it's a lot of work, you know, like this and that. They go, you realize like there's a lot of us at home who've stopped going out, who've got families and can't go out, but we still love it, you know. And for the last few months, just we've been tuning into you and just living through you, you know. So if you could continue to do this, so I have, and it's been great. And the rest of the world's still locked down.
Yep.
So I did a techno festival on Friday, which is a charity thing.
Yeah.
Everyone can see that on Instagram, HansDC.
Fresh.
That's so fresh.
Bro, fully in the spaceship. There's a battle going on outside.
And then like I got like scene changes and stuff, so different spaceship, different area in the spaceship or different spaceship.
That's so
Yeah,
sick.
this is a big vibe.
So that is like, was that with operatives and what are the other logos there?
Nah, they're just my crew logos. And
Okay, yeah.
sponsor logos or whatever.
Oh wait, so you're in the operatives?
I am operatives.
You're operatives?
Yeah, I'm
No
part of
shit.
operatives. If you
Well, I
go-
don't know about that sort of stuff. Tell us all
So-
about that because I've seen operatives around for years, bro.
So you don't know what operatives is?
Fill us in, brother.
Fill us in because I've seen
Fill
it
us in,
just on
'cause-
the
Well,
on flyers
operatives
everywhere.
years.
is mainly a bass future beat crew. It started out as a drum and bass thing by a guy called Jerry Poon, and this is his baby. So the operatives is a crew of like artists and mostly DJs, producers, and stuff like that. He started bringing people like Flying Lotus
Yep.
and I guess I'm Killer in.
Yep.
And started a crew, and basically it's just a lot of MCs, DJs, things like that, and slowly got one by one got us in.
Because I think the first time
Ran
I saw
parties.
operatives brought Mount Kimby out, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were fresh.
Years ago.
So yeah, we do stuff like that. Jerry comes from a drum and bass background.
Yep.
And it's morphed over the years, you know, depending on what's huge. Have you heard of Jordan Dennis? It's like a Melbourne rapper,
Yep.
MC. Like I wouldn't say rapper, like more like R&B-ish, kind of
Yep.
urban. I call it urban. Yeah, he's signed to us. I'm probably the most rebel out of all of them, where I still do my techno and prog and
Yeah.
everything else. And again, you know, grateful that they've got me in the crew. Yeah, and we do, you know, because I used to play a lot of beats and
Yep.
breaks and things like that as well. And Rainbow, I do a lot of side dub and that kind of thing.
Fresh.
Dubstep for a little while.
So the
Gotta love a
operatives,
bit of dubstep.
do they bring do you guys bring people out? Because
Yeah, we used to before the lockdown.
Yeah.
Lockdown,
Yeah. Flying Lotus is probably the biggest one.
I used to love Fly Low
Yeah.
beats.
So fresh.
He's got a new album out.
So fresh.
Just come out.
I haven't sussed it. I'll
Check
have
it
to
out.
suss it. That's so steez.
Yeah, so that's what the operators do basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a crew of people, of artists.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, artists, DJs, MCs, producers.
Yeah, it's like collective of steez.
Yeah, like a collective, big collective.
Fuck
Been
with that.
going
heavy.
around for a few years now, over 10 years.
That's crazy.
15 years actually.
Star Wars, bro. What's your favorite? It's May the 4th. Okay, May the 4th be with you, by the way.
Thank you.
What's your favorite Star Wars movie, Hans?
It's hard to say, man. No, I don't have a favorite.
Oh, come on,
I don't
bro.
have a favorite. They're all good and bad at the same time. Everyone has its amazingness and everyone has its flaws.
Okay.
What's the biggest flaw in Star Wars universe?
The biggest flaw? The
Yeah.
fans. Star Wars fans hate Star Wars the most because they love it the most as well. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So they're
So
always
they
trying
see
to
the
find.
stake.
Yeah, and it comes back to the music thing, the generational thing. You know, depends on what generation you are. You either love the originals, the prequels,
Disney.
or the new ones.
Yeah.
Right. I have middle-aged, I wouldn't say middle-aged, but like kind of people in their 30s swear by the prequels because that's the first Star Wars they watch.
Yeah.
And you get the older generation, it's like the originals, nothing beats that.
Yeah.
You know, Empire, Empire, Empire. And then the new ones are for the... Star Wars always been for the kids, right? But the new ones, the kids love them because the visual is... They've got it on point.
Enticing.
Whether the story is wrong or they're missing this or missing that, you can't beat the CGI today, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. The effects and shit are like mind-blowing. Plus they mix it with the real costumes and the real sets. That's the best of both worlds, you know? The problem with the prequels is too much. The CGI wasn't ready yet. You know, like George Lucas invented it. Of course, when you have a new baby, you want to show it off as much as possible. So he might have overdone it with the CGI, you know, like, and now it hasn't aged so well. So when you look back at it, you're like, kind of looks a bit cartoony, and there's a few things like,
There's a lot of re-edits as well.
yeah,
with the
there's too
originals.
many re-edits. They haven't, you know, the one that stood by the test of time were the originals, you know, because they were practical effects,
Yeah.
practical costumes, you know, hard to age shit like that. It's starting to age a little bit now because of the quality of the film, this and that, right? Acting wasn't great, but tell me, which Star Wars acting is great?
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Even
it.
the new one, the acting is pretty lame. You know, so it's
Uh,
not about that.
Can you how do you remember, because this is a big controversial thing, C3PO, did he have a silver leg?
Always had a silver leg.
Always had a silver
Always
leg?
had a silver leg.
Because a lot of people say he's just got gold legs.
No, he's always had a silver leg.
That's the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, you don't
So-
see it until someone says it, and now you can't unsee it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, no one realized.
I'm glad we clarified
Yeah,
on that
no one
one.
realized.
So C3PO.
No one realized.
And
No one realized.
Are you a fan of The Mandalorian?
Big fan.
Fresh,
So,
huh?
I'm not a fan of Mandalorians
Yeah.
in general, but I'm the fan of the Mandalorian and what it stands for now. I think the Mandalorian is carrying the weight of Star Wars on its back entirely. I believe without the Mandalorian, there probably wouldn't be any new Star Wars fans before
That's
it.
amazing.
You know what I mean? Before it to come. So it's done so well, man. Like, it doesn't matter whether you're into Star Wars or not. You watch the Mandalorian, man, you can relate to it.
Yeah.
Like, and you will enjoy it. You don't have to love Star Wars at all. But if you love Star Wars, Mandalorian has so many things for you. So many things. All the old things, all the new things. It's not too long every episode, you know. It's a futuristic western.
It expands
in
the
space.
universe.
You know, every episode is a story on itself. It doesn't continue, like, you don't need the one before, the one after to make sense of it. You know, it's cool to look at, right? He's one of the coolest characters.
Yeah.
His armor looks amazing. If you love
Gangsta.
stormtroopers, there's a lot of stormtroopers.
Yeah.
There's spaceships.
Yeah.
There's aliens, mate. Whatever you want, mate. Like,
Weaponry.
whatever you want. And I'm not a
Baby Yoda.
Yoda fan at all. I think for me, Yoda was a
Yeah, I've never
boring
been a Yoda.
character, or whatever, right?
But the wise old man has to
yeah,
always
okay,
exist.
this and that,
In a
whatever.
hero's-
Always
I was
in a
gonna
hero's
segue to
journey.
that.
In a hero's
But
journey.
the
Star Wars is
Mandalorian
pretty
made Yoda cool again,
Yeah.
right?
Facts.
Like,
Facts.
come on, who can resist that thing, right? Like, it's so
Very
cute. Like,
very
it's so
cute.
cute.
I
I don't care how much of a hater you are, how tough you are. Those eyes open, man. Like, you're
Baby
like,
Yoda's
oh my
own.
god. Like, you know how like big strong guys always have cute puppy dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
So Carney was just saying Star Wars is pretty much just the same narrative of a hero's quest, yeah?
Yeah, hero's journey.
A hero's journey.
It's a classic story.
Yeah.
It's a timeless classic story where you can use any context to put in. It's a story about family, first of all. It's a story about good versus evil, right? It's a story about trusting yourself, believing in yourself, and the power of the universe, basically.
That's beautiful.
Fucking oath.
That's all it is, man. Like every other big story, popular story that's lasted the test of time, have those things in it,
Yeah.
right? It's all about family, good versus evil, right? And about finding yourself.
Decision making.
In the universe.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's the base of it.
And that's what everybody should live by.
I guess so.
Do you feel like Star Wars is a good, like, live your life by Star Wars?
I think it's more.
Force?
It's
I
all
believe
about
in
the
the
force,
Force,
mate. It's all about the force. It's all about the force. Like I come from a religious, like my mother's hugely religious, but I'm not religious at all. But I do believe there's something out there that's bigger than all of us. I don't know whether he's got the power to fucking change things or to make things happen, but I think maybe he's put us here, and it's up to us to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know.
Universal.
But there's definitely some sort of bigger thing out there that nobody knows about, and we'll probably never ever know about.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree, bro.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Like, I don't know if I believe in aliens. Like, there has to be something other than us out there.
Oh, bro, I
Has
used to be a big aliens
Yeah.
fan, and then Elon Musk, I was listening to a few things he was saying, and I don't know if I believe in aliens anymore.
I don't know, man. Like, this. I try not to think about it too much. Like, it is what it is. Like, haven't you got enough fucking issues like of your own?
That's exactly. I'm
to
feeling.
worry about.
But
Like,
I'm feeling more. I'm feeling more like the alien these days.
right? Like,
Yeah.
I've heard so many flat Earth stories and conspiracies, and like, it's fascinating to hear what other people think, and you know, to know that there are other people out there who fully believe in these things, right? But I don't try not to let it like fuck
Rule
with your
over
own
your
judgment,
life.
you know?
Live in the moment. That's
yeah,
live in the moment.
exactly.
Find your place
It's what
in
it
the
is.
universe.
Like, it's like
And do what you love.
fucking. I know fucking monsters and ghosts and shit don't exist.
Yeah.
But I'm still scared of it. Right?
Yeah, the
I'm
fear.
still scared of it. Fuck. Like, I can tell you now 100% there's no such thing as a fucking demon that's going to come out of the fucking floor.
Or is
But,
there?
but
Be
like,
honest, give me a demon over a spider.
but I'm like, hey, you know, like if I can help not walking under a ladder, I will.
Yeah.
I'll walk around it. Like, you know, like, I don't believe that shit, but fuck.
I'm gonna take that option though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other way. Thank you. Like, just in case, you never know, right? Like,
Hans, can you pick a number out of 24, bro?
out of 24, 21.
Let's do it. Big one. Alright, let's see what we're gonna get.
What do I win?
Oh, 18, bro.
Oh,
18.
could have won a prize.
Could have won a prize, bro.
Oh.
Could have won a prize.
You get a second spin.
You get a
You
new
you
car.
Get to touch it now. You get it.
It should have been from you.
No new cars here.
You win a Kia.
One love, everybody.
One love. That was HansDc, Melbourne DJ.
You can catch him on Twitch and on Instagram at
Instagram at HansDC, HANSDC, and on Twitch, HANSDCEE.
Fresh.
Thanks for coming, bro.
Thanks, guys.
Mate.
Much love.
Fucking